Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, and others take to a hotel on the outskirts of Transylvania to escape the human world, only to find out that the real antics are just beginning. Hello there everyone, and welcome back once again to RealScreenReviews.com. I am movie critic Nick Yacobucci, and our next movie review is Hotel Transylvania. This family-friendly animated feature opened in wide release on Friday, September 28, 2012, and it features the voice talents of Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and Selena Gomez. This feature comes to us from director Genndy Tartakovsky, the veteran director of animation including Samurai Jack, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the TV series, and Dexter's Laboratory, also from TV. He now brings together the legends of horror for some good old-fashioned family fun, and it's almost just in time for Halloween. This tale tells of a high-end resort located far away from the world of human beings and on the edge of Transylvania. It is owned and operated by Count Dracula, and other frequent visitors include Quasimodo, Frankenstein, and his bride. Everything is peachy keen until a young man comes upon the resort by accident and soon falls for the teenage daughter of the Count himself. And as the plot starts to unfold and the comedy begins to ensue, Dracula will find himself as an overprotective dad just trying to hold on to second place. Well, people, this is probably the best Adam Sandler film that I have seen in years, which puts it smack dab into the middle of the category of okay at best. Now, I will also say that this collaboration between Sandler and younger comedian Andy Samberg is light years better than the atrocity that I was subjected to in June known as That's My Boy. For this cornucopia of monsters, Sandler gathers up most of the cast of grown-ups and throws on top a bunch of other solid funny men and women. This film is brought together by the proven talent of TV animator Genndy Tartakovsky, and his use of what I would call boxy animation is effective and original in its own way. I enjoyed watching Paranorman, and I am very glad to see that there are other animated-looking films out there besides the Pixar and DreamWorks projects. I do have to say, however, that even though Hotel Transylvania looks like a quality film, it does lack very much in the substance department. Movies like Brave, Despicable Me, or the already mentioned Paranorman bring to the table quality storytelling before quality animation, and that just isn't the case here. Those films dealt with relationships and real issues, where Hotel Transylvania just sugarcoats made-up conflicts. Now, there is a simple plot of an overprotective father not wanting to relinquish possession of his daughter turning 118. Okay, that is funny. Sandler's Count is a widower whose take on human society is what fuels his desire to shield his daughter from it. I think Sandler must have watched 1931's Dracula at least 1,000,000 times to try and encompass his voice in this film, and even though it is over the top, it's really not that bad. Then no matter how hard he tries, when a human shows up, it proves to be almost impossible to keep his daughter and Sandberg's Jonathan from getting together. Selena Gomez lends her voice to the daughter of Mavis, and together, she and Sandberg do what they can given the lack of material. There are many other mainstream and popular comedians that do their best to breathe life into these legendary characters, but once again, there really is only so much that they can do. The all-star team includes Kevin James, David Spade, Molly Shannon, Fran Dresher, and CeeLo Green, but when there's really no substance or depth of character written, well, it really leaves the voiceover talent dangling in the wind. Essentially, they're just reading words from a page in an accent, and that's if an accent is even needed. In addition to the weak characters of the story, it also suffers from a lack of foundation. First, there are just too many monsters in this film to appreciate any of them individually. Then the jokes dealing with flatulence and bodily humor got old real quick, and the movie's insistence on cheap attempts to poke fun at classic horror tales wasn't very effective for adults in attendance. Finally, Hotel Transylvania was yet again another feeble exercise in the cheap use of 3D technology, and it really added nothing to the film artistically. At right around an hour and a half, Hotel Transylvania felt much longer and ran out of gas much sooner. Director Tartakovsky shined on the small screen, but never really takes any chances here on the big screen, and this is one of those times where he could have enhanced the project, but instead went by the numbers and played it safe. I also don't like to point fingers at the cast when it comes to this project, because you really can't do something when there's nothing written for you to do. I will say that the musical score by Mark Mothersbaugh does give us a very cool feel throughout the feature, but there's really so much else wrong with it, it just can't be saved. Now, I'll end by saying how ironic that the Count erected this hotel to house the monsters and keep them safely apart from humans, and I think that's exactly what he's going to accomplish here, to keep human beings away from this movie. Nick's Real Screen Review is a very weak 1 1/2 stars out of 4, and that's for Adam Sandler and the ensemble cast of Hotel Transylvania. Well, that's all I have this time around. If you've enjoyed this review, please click the like button below or click subscribe above. I'm sure that I will be returning soon enough with more movie news and reviews, and until then, remember people, I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you for your attention.